The first time you lock eyes with a Rottweiler, you can feel it, that steady, unwavering gaze that isn't just looking at you. It's looking through you. They don't rush toward you. They don't bounce around like a puppy desperate for approval. They stand, they watch, and they wait for you to make the first move. And in that moment, you think, this is the dog for me. What you don't realize is that they're making the same decision about you. From the moment you meet, a Rottweiler starts measuring you, not just your tone of voice or your commands, but the way you carry yourself, how you react under pressure, whether you're someone worth following. That's the part most owners never say out loud. Because once you understand how much they notice, you start to understand just how much they expect from you. For the first few weeks, you might think you've got it all under control. They follow your lead, they learn quickly, and people stop you on the street to admire how well behaved they are. Friends call them majestic or powerful, and you can't help but feel proud. Then the little tests begin. A slow response to a command they know perfectly well. A subtle block at the doorway when a guest arrives. The way they position themselves between you and someone else without making a sound. It's not rebellion, it's evaluation. Rottweilers are strategic. They decide whether your leadership is worth following, and those early weeks are their research phase. They're seeing if you'll stay consistent or let things slide. If you'll be calm under pressure or lose your temper. And here's what separates the owners who thrive from the ones who quietly struggle. The good ones notice those tests and respond with clear, consistent direction. The rest? They ignore them. And spend months trying to undo the habits that follow. This is where the silence comes in. Many owners don't share the reality because explaining it is complicated. How do you tell someone that your dog isn't difficult? They're simply smarter, more deliberate, and more perceptive than most people can handle. Because make no mistake, a Rottweiler is not a casual pet. They're not the dog you get to see how it goes. They are an all-in, all-the-time breed. Once they've bonded with you, you'll have a shadow. A silent, watchful shadow that follows you from room to room. They'll match your pace, your mood, even your breathing. They'll place themselves where they can see the whole room, often between you and the door. And they won't ask for thanks, this is simply their job. But here's what many won't admit, that job doesn't turn off. Ever. If you're inconsistent, they'll take the lead. If you're tense, they'll assume there's danger. If you're distracted, they'll start making the calls themselves. Not because they want to dominate you in the cartoonish way some imagine, but because their instincts tell them leadership can't wait. That's why structure isn't optional, it's the lifeline of your relationship. I've linked the exact gear I use daily with my Rottweiler in the description. The tactical harness that keeps you in control without pulling, the e-collar with remote for instant communication when it matters, joint support shoes to keep that powerful frame moving smoothly for years, and a puzzle toy that keeps their mind as active as their body. These aren't luxuries, they're survival tools for a peaceful, balanced life with this breed. Because the truth is, when a Rottweiler doesn't have a job, they'll invent one. And you might not like the one they choose. Maybe their new job is deciding which guests get to sit on the couch. Maybe it's patrolling the backyard at 3 a.m. when you'd rather be asleep. Maybe it's barking at the delivery driver until they leave, whether they were dropping off a package or not. If you don't give them direction, they'll give it to themselves. And that's where the work comes in. Every single day. Leadership with a Rottweiler isn't a when-I-have-time task. It's woven into everything you do together, walks, play, feeding, even relaxing. Every interaction either reinforces your leadership or erodes it. And here's the emotional truth most owners hide, it's exhausting sometimes. There will be days you feel like you can't keep up. Days you wonder if you're enough for them. Days you catch yourself thinking, maybe everyone was right when they said this breed was too much work. But then you see the other side. The way they quietly position themselves between your child and a stranger. The way they rest their head on your lap after a long day, sighing like they've been holding the world at bay for you. The way they make eye contact in a moment of chaos, waiting for your cue, trusting you to lead. That's the trade-off Rottweiler owners know but rarely explain. The work is constant, but the reward is unmatched. This is why most Rottweiler owners stay silent. Because no matter how they try to put it into words, people won't understand the depth of the bond, the weight of the responsibility, and the way both can change you forever. If you're thinking about getting a Rottweiler, remember, they're deciding about you just as much as you're deciding about them. Start with the right tools. Build trust every day. And never forget that with this breed, leadership isn't given, it's earned. If you already have one, share the story of the moment you realized they understood you better than anyone else. That's the part of Rottweiler life worth talking about.